She's an Olympic gold medalist, the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils women's basketball team, a former WNBA player, and former assistant coach for the Boston Celtics. Joining me now is Kara Lawson. Kara, it's International Women's Month, and it is so fitting and really, like I said, such an honor to speak with you. You are an incredible role model with an impressive career. Let's start with your days playing college basketball. You attended UT and had the opportunity to play for another amazing woman, Pat Summitt. What role did she play in your life?
She played an incredible role in my life. You talk about being 18 to 22 years of age when you're going through college, and there's a lot of growth, a lot of maturing that goes on during that time. But the most important thing that she did for me was to challenge me in every area that made me better, and it made me have an expectation and a standard that I hold myself to. Even though she's not my coach anymore, I still have that expectation in terms of how the work is supposed to be done.
Well, after college, you played in the WNBA for over a decade. You helped the United States capture the gold medal in the Olympics and led the team in points. You then spent time as an ESPN broadcaster. And what does one do after all of those accomplishments? Well, Kara, you went on to become the first female coach in the 73-year history of the Boston Celtics franchise. Take me through the moment you received that phone call. What was going through your mind?
Well, I knew I wanted to be a coach. I mean, I'd wanted to be a coach since I was a kid, and got started a little bit later in the game, as those of us that are ex-players do, because I played for a long time. So I played 13 years in the WNBA, and then when I stopped playing, started getting involved in coaching with USA Basketball, and then ultimately started talking to some NBA teams. And when Brad Stevens called me from the Boston Celtics, we just hit it off right away in terms of philosophy. I think philosophically we were really aligned, and obviously he's one of the most well-respected basketball minds, not just in the NBA but in the game. And the team, the players, knew some of them just from working at ESPN, and just thought it would be a good fit, and getting the opportunity to coach there in Boston with so much history, so much tradition. Every time you walk into the practice facility, every time you walk into the Garden, all the banners, all of the great players that have come through Celtics, the Celtics team, just an incredible experience.
Well, in Boston, you helped lead the Celtics to a 43-21 record and into third place in the Eastern Conference prior to the stoppage of the season due to COVID-19. You worked closely with another fellow point guard, Marcus Smart. The Celtics have struggled a bit with Smart out this season. Do you think they can compete for a championship without him?
Yeah, I think Smarty's going to be coming back soon, so that's good. That's good news for everybody. Just an elite competitor. Love working with him, and just somebody that loves the game, plays with great passion, plays with great competitiveness. And I thought we really worked well together, because I think the respect we have for one another, and how much he wants to win. And that's the thing about Smarty that comes through in every practice and every game. The guy wants to win. He's going to lay it out there. So, he's somebody that Celtics fans and Celtics players and Celtics coaches love when he's on the floor, because he is going to give your team an opportunity to win.
Well, Kara, you went from coaching professional athletes to now college athletes. Has this been a big transition, and do you have a different approach when it comes to working with NBA players versus students?
Well, there's inherent differences just in terms of, the NBA players are professionals and they're getting paid to do a job, and the college players do have the academic component to what they're doing in the class. They have a lot more restriction to their day in terms of study halls and classes and just studying in general. So those are probably the big differences between the college and pro. But a lot of the NBA is getting younger and younger. So the age group is actually more similar than you would think. We had a lot of players that were 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. With the Celtics, we had a younger team. And so a lot of the things that they face, a lot of the growth that needs to happen, a lot of the maturing that needs to happen, those are some of the same things that you deal with, whether you're in college or pro.
I love that your story is so full circle, Kara. We talked about the impact Pat Summitt had on you in college, and now you're embarking on your own career as a head coach. You share a campus with another legend of the game, Coach K. What has your relationship been with him?
Yeah, it's been good so far. It's been really limited because of COVID. And, I think Duke's done a great job creating a bubble and, really rigorous testing and everyone trying to stay focused on keeping their own bubble. So we do see each other in passing from time to time, but everyone's trying to keep their distance and make sure that we do our job as members of this society to try and slow the spread. But he's been a great supporter. Obviously, spent time with Coach K a little bit in Beijing when I was playing in the Olympics in 2008. He was the coach of the men's team. So certainly have been around him in different capacities. And what he's built here is amazing accomplishment in terms of building one of the preeminent programs in college sports history, not just college basketball history. When you think Duke basketball, you think excellence. And so to share a campus with him is something that I feel fortunate because you can just look at how Duke men's basketball has done it and how consistent they've been, and the type of players, the type of young men they bring into the program, the type of players they become, and how much they continue to grow and improve when they're in the NBA. I mean, I coached Jason Tatum, with the Boston Celtics, and what an incredible person and player that he is. And so it's a great place to be if you love college basketball. Duke is definitely at the top of the list.
Even though Duke's women's basketball team won't be playing in March Madness this year, you're reminding us all how exciting this tournament is. You're a part of the XFINITY campaign surrounding their XFi internet. I saw a clip and I love it. I mean, so many of us are working from home now. We've got multiple screens open, and we have to tell our coworkers we're definitely not watching basketball when in reality, we're all watching basketball. How fun was it being a part of this campaign?
I love this campaign because it, like you applied it to real life. I mean, this is all of us during this time. I mean, we're still in the pandemic. I've got a TV screen here. I've got my computer here. I've got multiple computers, and obviously with XFINITY XFi, the ability to stream multiple things at one time kind of allows you to sneak away from maybe some of your duties. I know I've been guilty of that during the day, to be able to multitask and watch games. And then of course when the tournament starts, there's multiple games going on at a time, and we've all been there where like one game's coming down close to the wire and all of a sudden you're clicking over to that. And so the ability to have multiple screens on at different times, and the internet strength to be able to do that, that's why it was a really cool campaign for me and an easy decision for me to partner with XFINITY XFi, because that's what I do. That's what I'll be doing over the next few weeks as we're in conference tournaments, and then we ultimately get to the NCAA tournament.
Well, last summer, you were announced as one of the 100 most influential people in women's college basketball. But if we're being honest, Kara, your influence goes far beyond just that. I know there are tons of young men and women looking up to you, hoping to one day follow in your footsteps. What advice would you give to them?
I think just really follow your passion is the first thing. I've loved basketball since I was a young kid, and I knew that I wanted to pursue a life in basketball, whatever that was, however that looked like. I knew that I wanted to do that at an early age, and so I was fortunate enough to play as long as I did. And then when I finished playing, I wanted to be a part of it, whether it was coaching, whether it was broadcasting. I just love the game. I love being around it. I love the lessons it teaches. And I love the impact that you can have on young people through the sport. So if that's your passion or whatever your passion is, just follow it and find a way to keep growing and keep improving and stay connected and impact people. That's really what it's all about, is the chance to impact people in life. And you can do that through a variety of jobs. You can do that through a variety of sports. But ultimately, whether it's our coaches that we've had in the past, teammates we've had in the past, those indelible impressions that people leave on us is really because of the impact that they have on us. And so that's my goal as a coach, is to impact as many of my players as possible.
That is just such a beautiful reminder that it is really all about making an impact on this planet and impacting the lives around us. And you've shown us just that. Kara Lawson, thank you so much for joining us here at Sports Illustrated. Really appreciate your time.